This is where the rubber meets the road, where you're training, where you take the knowledge that you learned from your instructional portion and you put it to some good use. And this is what's going to make the difference, whether you survive the street or not. So, this is our buddy here. You can have a heavy bag. Notice I've got him dressed, add a little bit of reality to it. Of course, you've got a pair of boots set up. So, this allows us to practice our correct position and distancing. Again, we're starting far enough away where he's got to shift his weight in order for him to hit us. We line up on that 45-degree angle, so you practice, hands out to your side, right off the angle, feet accordingly, weight on the front foot, hands crossed in front. You've got 3 basic hand positions that we're going to practice from. It's going to be crossed, it's going to be folded, and it's going to be up. And then you've got an option of starting from a defensive posture, hands open. Remember, so those hands are going to be crossed, folded, the old Jack Benny, or hands in front. Again, non-threatening positions. So now we practice establishing distance. So start close, like you're approached. Step back on that line, 45-degree angle, fold your hands. Simply again, step back, 45-degree angle, fold your hands. Vary it up a little bit. Put one foot forward. Now that line has changed. So we get approached, we step back, hands folded. Approached, step back, hands folded. Shift the boots the other way. Again, really simple. This is just practicing your body movement. Approached, step back, hands folded. You notice I didn't switch my stance or switch my feet because you always train out of the same stance, which is extremely important. You don't have to worry about training both sides of your body like you would in some sporting aspects. But heck, even in some sports, it's just you're righty or you're lefty, and that's the way it is. So when you practice, you're always going to put, sometimes it'll say strong side forward, sometimes it'll say, weak side back, weak side forward. That's going to depend on you, and that's what's going to come out in your practice. So try it with the strong side forward first, then try it with your weak side forward first. That's only going to be you're going to be able to tell yourself you're your own best teacher when it comes to this type of stuff. So you're practicing, you may step back and put the other foot back. Big deal. You got nothing but space and opportunity and time. After we start practicing our position and distance, next we're just going to go to practicing that drop step. Again, weight is forward. We're going to be hands either crossed. You can even have them pressed in on your side. This is a good technique to develop some hand speed. You're going to see you can even put them behind your back or even behind your head, just to make things a little bit more difficult for you to replicate how you're going to feel when you're starting to get into a fight or flight situation. So hands pressed at our side, weight forward. Now, the goal is to have our hand hit your training target or your training dummy before your foot hits the mat. So really just weight forward. And always, always stomp your feet when you practice. And I always try to practice as far as possible. Okay, so I know what my range is. Now, when you're doing any of these single reps, do about 10 to 20 repetitions until it starts to feel comfortable, and depending on what your physical fitness level is. Next, after we're practicing the hand, now we're going to do the shoulder, which is going to require us to cover just a little bit more distance. Again, start from getting approached, stepping back. Good. Weight on the front foot. And, okay, you need to have that feeling of falling into it so you can ensure that you're putting all your weight behind your attack. Again, it will feel awkward. That's good. In the beginning, it does. But keep in mind, from this distance, we're generally not going to be throwing that shoulder spike. We're going to be doing that from a closer distance. This distance, we're going to be doing the short edge of hand. It's going to be dropping it straight in. Okay, short edge of hand drop step. Again, hands snapped open convulsively, anywhere above the collarbone. So your elbow is going to come up, and you're just going to deliver a blow and chop it right into your target. So we step, and make sure you've got heavy feet. Stepping forward. Remember, not to wind up. Lead with speed, follow with power. So the hand just comes from anywhere on the body, anywhere you have it. Either here or here, snaps right into the target. So don't push. It's still a strike. But snap it back. Snap it back. Remember, the more psychologically amped you can get in your training, the better it's going to be. Again, to prepare yourself for how your attitude and how you need to be during a fight. Hitting things hurt, they condition you. Again, that's reality. That's reality. Again, after you do about 20 of those, you're going to just start to do multiple short edge of hand. So now you're just going to hit it 2 and 3 times. Really simple stuff. But make sure that you're stomping your feet when you're doing it. So here. As he shifts, I shift my position, no problem. Here. The next one is the short edge of hand with a drop step. After you do 2 or 3, now we bring it back, long edge of hand. But before we do that, I like to practice the techniques individually. So the short edge of hand was that chop. You can practice it without the drop step. Just snap, 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 snap. And then the other hand. Snap, chop, 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 chop. Switch, chop, chop. And the other side. Chop, 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 chop. Now that long edge of hand. So now we were digging and hacking. Now we're going to twist our body. We've caused enough injury. Across. Approached. Step back. When you're hacking, you hack, hack, hack. Cause enough damage. Open up. Rip them apart. So the short chopping vertical edge of hand, okay, we chop. It's not an opening technique, but it's not a finishing technique right now. So you can just kind of keep your hand within the silhouette of your body, which means don't raise it out, don't pick it up, keep it tight. Make sure you torque your hips, drop your body weight. Now doing the lead hand. Chop, 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 chop. Again, dropping it straight down. Let your body weight rip. Whereas the horizontal went across and drove through, this drops down and chops. Now, again, 10 to 20 each side, no problem. Now you can practice that dropping vertical edge of hand. Even though he's not bent over, it doesn't matter. It's really the body motion that we're really hacking and looking to get. So with this, I don't care about telegraphing as much as I do really hitting with power. Drop it, drop it. Really look to generate much And power. Other side too. Dropping it, dropping the hips down, lowering the body weight. The next drill I'm going to show you is a multiple strike drill to practice both of these. It may look complicated, take your time, and then it'll come to speed. Next, we're going to combine them with the 3-chop count drill. So don't worry about it. It's more for developing power, speed, and getting a little aerobic exercise. So you're just going to stand square to your dummy, and your hands are just going to be up by your side. And it's going to consist of 1, 2, 3. Same hand hits 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So it's vertical, vertical, horizontal, horizontal. Keeping your hands up. Don't come out of your silhouette. Keep it tight. Now I move to shoulder stops with a drop step. So you're going to start, just position, and just start, step back. Now, don't feel that just because it's this side of your hand, you got to attack this side of your this side of his body. Step back. The other one. Step back. It's a single. Next we have the double. Position, step back. So I'm going to do a double with a drop step. Step back. Incidentally, all of your opening techniques should be done with a drop step. Should be done with a drop step. Step back. And back. Now, take what you're just doing and combine it with something that you just learned. Now we combine what we're doing with what we've already learned. So that's going to be short edge of hand, a horizontal and vertical edge of hand. So we're going to establish position. We'll step back. It'll be shoulder stop, edge of hand, edge of hand. Really simple. Again, just to get you start to combining some of the techniques. So step back. Again, step back. Any combination you practice, do about 10 times. That's always a good number to start, give or take. Again, once you start getting comfortable, play around with them a little bit. They're all pretty much interchangeable. Now we'll move to the chin jab. Hands at your side, no particular position. Then you're going to step with the opposite foot and just drive the hand up, striking at the point of the chin. Stepping. Driving at the point of the chin. Traveling up the center line of the body. The other side. Step. Again, start playing around with the distance a little bit. So you can determine what your range is, which is extremely important. How far away you have to be from something to hit it. Now it's chin jab, eye gouge. The difference between this chin jab and the last one we did, which was a striking type of chin jab, this one's going to hit the chin, and then the fingers are already going to be parted. They're going to find the eyes and dig into the eyes and drive the head back. Now, this is important about having a dummy, why a dummy is better than a heavy bag. Simply because a dummy has a chin, heavy bags don't. dig the fingers in, hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then come back to rest. Following up this chin jab with the fingers into the eyes, it lines you right up for driving that knee right into the testicles and bringing your foot down. Again, anytime you're sticking your hands in somebody's face, chances are they're going to reach up and grab it. Again, he's not going to be thinking about what's coming, what's following up. Even if his head goes out of the way, it doesn't matter. It's just pulling him out. It's in his face. It'll square him up. His body will get square, and they'll leave us right into the testicles. Even if you don't hit it, even if you're hitting a thigh, but it just your leg is lined up perfectly to do that. Again, this is what the boots come in handy for. Also, stepping down on them provides a little extra realism as opposed to coming down to a clean surface, even stepping down on the base of the dummy. So just starting from your square position. Step back. Step. And then the other side. Last single strike we're going to practice is the chin jab with a post. Remember, you can secure around the body, you can secure around the arm. This technique is meant to be done from about 6 inches away. We're going to start just from a square position. Step around, post, and drive the chin in, and finish with the fingers in the eyes. Make sure your foot hits last. So if I were to put an order on things, it would be step, post, chin jab, foot. Step, post, chin jab, foot lands. And step. My foot hits last. Your foot has got to hit last. This is the only way to make sure that you're getting your body weight in the target. This goes for all the strikes. When you move, when you step, you want your foot to hit last, and it's stomping on the ground. So we stand square, we step. The other side. We'll look at some combinations that you can practice on your own. Again, you're your best instructor. Feel free to interchange and play around with the stuff and make it your own. So the first one, we're going to always practice your combinations. You're going to start from establishing your distance. So you're going to step back right on that point of entry, and we're just going to practice from, you've got 3 basic hands positions. I'll show you one combination to start. So it's your hands will be by your side. You're just going to do short axe hand, long axe hand, chin jab with a post. So you're going to step, short axe hand, long axe hand, chin jab with a post. Again. Keeping your chin down, keeping your elbow up when you move in. Very important. Step. Hands from here to here. Same thing. We could be in a closer range situation. Okay? Or, as we said before, if his hands are crossed, we want to have our hands slightly above his. So, establish our distance. And finally, the old Jack Benny. Most people don't even know who he is. It's okay. lastly, non-threatening position. Why don't you put together 3 other combinations and play around with them. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to practice from different positions. So we practice from the facing front, side, rear, and the other side. Doesn't have to be too grandiose or fancy. So right from here, we're just going to do a short edge of hand and knee. We're going to do this combination from the 3 different positions. So from the side, just hands by my side. Remember, keeping your chin down, keeping your elbows up. From the rear. Then from the other side. Not only just in front, 4 directions. Must caution you before you start doing this. If any blood or discomfort, or let pain be your guide. Start off nice and easy, and then work up the intensity. All right. What we have here is just like we talked about in the beginning, is your brick with a carpenter sponge and a belt sanding belt over it. This is to replicate, again, a shirt, clothing, muscle, bone. It's sitting on a bag of gravel. You can use a bag of gravel or sand. This is on top of a patio brick and a cinder block. I just used the patio brick for height. Also, we're on a tatami, which is on a subfloor, so it has some give. Again, a word of extreme caution. When you start doing this, make sure you're on a surface that gives. Mounting this rig on directly on a hard surface like a wood floor, cement floor, is going to cause you some problems. Every striking, from the dummies to the heavy bags to the makawaras, everything moves and everything gives because it absorbs the energy. If you're driving straight in and it doesn't absorb the energy, that goes right back into your joints and right back into your bones. And then you're going to have some serious problems down the road. So now take it easy. So we're just going to concentrate on the edge of the hand and the heel of hand. So you're just going to start, I sit one knee up and I just chop. Nice and easy at first. These you do, 50, 100 a set. Okay, and you just chop. Later in the series, we're going to get into doing, total body conditioning, but this is just where you start. Again, the other side. Chop. That's the edge of hand. Heel of hand. Again, just think about forging your weapons like you're making a sword. Don't have a lot of skill. Don't need a lot of skill. Okay, just a little determination. Practice, practice, practice. Do this after every session. You should be doing about two times a week to start. Some weeks more than others, no problem. Some weeks less than others, no problem. Be consistent. Make sure after you do your training, after you hit the dummy, after you do your conditioning, put your hands under some warm water, as warm as you can stand it, and get that circulation back in there. If something is hurt, something is broken, you stop and use your other hand. Okay? You're still going to have to train. Sometimes you fight a little injured. No problem. You're not always going to be 100%. So you have to learn to work with what you got. So make sure if you're hurt or you're sick, you still do a little something. That's the end of the training session for Module 1, Essential Self-Defense. I'll see you next time. Train honestly.